Lisa, thank you. 6:17 now. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump plans to deliver a major speech today in Detroit on the American economy, trying to perhaps turn the tide in his recent fall in the polls.
So joining us this morning to discuss, please welcome our political analyst, Dallas Jones. Good morning to you, Dallas. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're well, thank you.
Well, yeah.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. So let's start off this conversation with whether or not you believe Donald Trump, obviously trying to turn things around, change his tune. We know that he's changed course and endorsed House Speaker Paul Ryan in his primary in Wisconsin. So let's begin there.
Well, I think after the week he had last week, he definitely needs to change his tune if he's going to gain some momentum over the next couple of months. The good news for Donald Trump is that as the polls are certainly showing him behind, that this is one of the years where the presidential conventions have been extremely early. So it gives voters a little bit more time to change their minds. However, who has the momentum coming out of their conventions typically wins the presidency, with the exception of Al Gore. We all remember that.
So he is speaking, I believe, to the Detroit Economic Club, supposedly a tax plan. Is that what we're expecting?
Well, yeah, we're expecting the rollout of a tax plan, and this is the beginning of rolling out more policy and attempts to really try to galvanize the Republican Party's base, those that have felt disenchanted from the primary season in addition to the actual convention itself. And so we'll look for more of these opportunities to be happening over the next couple of weeks to really bring the party together. Last week was pretty tough.
You know, while Donald Trump obviously tries to get the reins once again and take the lead, let's talk about Hillary Clinton. The email scandal is once again coming up. Do you think that that is going to follow her until November?
Well, I think it's going to follow her whether she wins the presidency or not. I think it's something that's going to be forever attached to the Clinton brand. It's like Watergate. It's like the Lewinsky scandal. It's like all of those things that have brought us to the point that the overall public finds a general sentiment of distrust around the name Clinton.
So do her excuses or her campaign's excuses and explanations for her verbal missteps, do they gain any traction, you think, with people? Oh, I forget exactly the terminology, but some sort of brain circuit malfunction or something along those lines.
Well, I think there's some traction. Let's point out that Hillary Clinton is still 10 points ahead in terms of the presidential polls, and that's even if you add in, you know, 2 of the third-party candidates. And so I think the American public overall, you know, wants an explanation as to why these things continue to happen. It was added on, you know, when we saw what happened with the DNC and the emails around the primary. And so, you know, I think people, you know, are concerned about it. They want to make sure that there's no, you know, fatal mistake if she were to assume the presidency. And I think people have questions and they deserve answers.
All right, Dallas Jones, we're out of time. Unfortunately, we could continue talking about this all morning, as you know, but we're out of time.
We've got 90 more days till the election-ish, so we'll talk about more then.
And lots more to happen.
Dallas,
we'll
thank
see
you.
ya.